Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. That is beyond long.
Look at this, he's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Smash Factor week 42 on the 2022-2023 PGA Tour, the FedEx Cup playoffs, week one of the playoffs. This year, a 70-man no-cut event. Of course, last year we were there live for this is the week they had the Fantasy Golf World Championships at the FEDEX St. Jude. I was there. I think I finished 22nd or 20th, something like that. Not where I wanted to be, but it was a fun time. Kind of. It was a really good time up until the unexpected death of my sister that happened early Sunday morning around 4. Thankfully, it was surrounded by guys like Tambo and Todd, who we talked about last week, who won this year's Fantasy Golf World Championship. So, hot last year. Looks like a little bit of maybe a weather break this year for them during the tournament. We'll see. But a little bit different format, being that, 70 no cut, a little different than last year. We had 125 there cut. She got top 70 finished, in the rankings. You could argue they're the best 70 on tour. We got guys like JT, Adam Scott, and those guys miss, but technically by the numbers, we'll see a little bit different, I think, with adjustments to the FedEx Cup, where looks like these fall events. We'll get some of the more information here over the next few weeks. I've heard two different things. The thing I thought I heard was no FedEx Cup points will be awarded until January, but maybe there's some version of points that guys can get throughout the fall swing. Guys can still play if they're ranked high enough, but may not be able to accrue FedEx Cup points. I've heard a few different things. Definitely going to spend some time researching into that, and we'll see how the fields look in the fall. I'm almost confident, though, that it won't be a full-fledged FedEx Cup points available for everybody in the fall, because the whole point of going to the January 1st calendar year type stuff was that everybody kind of starts on similar path, and you don't have guys, quote unquote, that get a bunch of points in the fall swing, less fields, stuff like that they ride all the way through the year. We'll kind of see all that, how it shakes out. We don't really care about that right now. Last week, pretty solid week. I tripled up. Wish I could have done better. I just, didn't have all the right pieces up top. Had 12 of 12 in my Glorious Nucleus article. All of them make the cut. And what's even more, probably more important about that, or not important, but cool about that, was that it was a super low 6-6 week. I was heavy on fading Denny McCarthy. That worked out. Stunning how high owned he was, but is what it is. So good week overall. Community did well. We'll roll it into this week. Betting, I know I hit Sunday's bet. That was easy. Glover over Billy Ho. I still haven't recapped that. I'm still trying to catch up. This is coming out later Tuesday night, so you'll still have a full day Wednesday. Little man had his final match tonight, so just getting done with that. This will be late. I apologize. But better late than never this week. I did want to talk through some things. I had some thoughts. Tomorrow is my 40th birthday, so I'm looking forward to that. Be with the family. Going to try to get a lot out tonight that I can. I still will put off kind of final rankings, ownership, and stuff like that, because some of that stuff, I like to wait till as late as possible. Weather may be an issue, but there's really not, because there's no cut, so I don't think we really care. We care about weather maybe to an extent if you really think, and they're so tight, 70 guys, it could matter for showdown and round one stuff for sure, first round leader, but our overall main slate, not as much. But ownership, I definitely want to get out as late as possible with the most accurate as I can. We are at, if you'd like to join us now, we got college football rolling. NFL's coming around the corner. Hard Knocks out tonight. We had the preseason last Thursday. Our man Ryan is coming back to be kind of the lead of NFL content outside of what I do. He'll be doing all the showdown stuff. He'll fill in as needed when I need help or if things are too busy for me going on. I'll still do all my content like I normally have done, and still do, our ownership projections, our projections for NFL in general, our whole live tools and leaderboards, all that kind of stuff. Will all be up for NFL. Bobby's back for college football. He enjoys the preseason stuff, so him and Ryan are doing some preseason content for us throughout the whole NFL preseason. A lot of money to be made there, especially if you are kind of bored at night or one day you're like, man, I got much to do today, not much going on. Those last minute kind of things, and our Slack is as good as anybody's, especially college football, but it does come in handy in preseason NFL too. Preseason NFL is a little more known by others, but still there's some last minute switches. And if you don't know who to switch on that quick, it can be key. College football is huge because there are no, 90 minutes before first game, like on Sunday where everybody has to turn in the inactives and stuff. There isn't any of that in college football. And outside of Bobby being one of the best content providers of college football, my knowledge that I bring to it, which isn't near what his is, but I do all right in it. I finished the last 3 or 4 years top 10 in college football DFS. Our Slack is amazing. And it's just covered, all across all kinds of games, max, late games, all that kind of stuff. It's super awesome. Great community to be a part of. Our cheapest prices ever are already up on the site. I adjusted them a few months ago. I really stopped doing the whole promotion deal every week, all that. I was like, I'm just going to make my prices what I think they are, and we're going to have big blowouts 2, 3, maybe 4 times a year. This is one of those times. This is the last time of 2023 there will be discounts. NFL 30% off. The already low prices up on the site. 7-day risk-free trial included. Come try us out now. Fun week to do it. You get golf. You get some preseason football. You can see the college football content we've already put out, prepping for it. We're working on the underdog drafts. You'll see that for golf and the FedEx Golf this week, like we did last year, and the NFL Big Best Balls and DraftKings and Underdog. So come check us out. It's a great time to do it. Like I said, we're not doing the discount stuff very much anymore. This will be one. I guarantee you the Masters will be one, and the other two are just kind of, if we have them, will be hit or miss. But the big NFL for sure kickoff is one we'll do every year. So NFL 30% off any package for life. And it includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Come give us a try. This week we're at TPC Southwind in Memphis, of course, FedEx St. Jude Championship. Par 70, 7,239 yards, 4 par 3s, 2 par 5s. Both par 5s are reachable by most for the most part. Georgia fairways, Bermuda rough, Bermuda greens. Remember, depending on where you're at, what side, what rankings, if you're using our stuff, of course, you can see it on there. But 2019, 20, and 21 was WGC no-cut events. 2022 was last year. Obviously, back to the first round of the FedEx Cup, full cut event, but only 125 guys cut down, so a little bit easier cut to make per se, math-wise. 2018 and before was a normal event on tour, but it was either kind of like a fall swing or an alternate. I can't remember fully, but much weaker fields than you saw. Keep that in mind when you're looking at course history, course fit, stuff like that. So you see like a 39th in 2021. Well, there's only, 50 guys for WGCs or something like that? 60, I can't remember what the number is, but it's not as good as a full field number. So just be cognizant of that when you're looking around. Weather this week, chance of rain tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. Of course, it's Tuesday night. Thursday, a little bit Friday, and then the weekend it has pretty 40 to 60% chance Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, about a 20% Friday. Luckily, we don't even have to worry about a cut, so we're not looking for that advantage. And I just don't think, because there's only 70 guys, it's so tight of a window. Main slate, I'm not factoring it at all. I'll update stuff tomorrow night if we think we see an advantage for round 1 showdown or first round leaders. That's really the only time weather's really going to come into play for me this week. No cut event, like I said. Winner, round where it's normally at, mid-teens, 14, 15, maybe 16 under. I kind of see it being there. Low 90s, high 80s for high, which is hot for some people, but this place can get steamy hot. We got a little bit of a chill down today. It was like 92, which doesn't sound much, but I think last Thursday when I was talking to some of the guys that were up north in Michigan and stuff, it was 113 here. So 92 feels good. So not maybe as hot, but hotter than hot for most, but for this time of year in Memphis, not horrible. But if there's enough rain, you can get the humidity, which doesn't help anything at all. Stats I'm looking at: good drive, stroke gain irons, opportunities at 18 feet, bogey avoidance, par 4 DK, and good approach. salary ranges with this smaller field. We got 5 in the 10K, which goes up to 12-1, 6 in the 9K, 10 in the 8K, 18 in the 7K, 18 in the 7K, 30 in the 6K to make up the 30, 19 in the 7K, 30 in the 6K. So 49 of the 70 are 7,900 or less this week. They did not go into the 5K range, which I thought they might, just kind of like they did the last major, but they did not. We'll see that again, like we always have in 2 weeks when they factor in the staggered start positioning stuff, which really isn't as big of a deal as it is, but we have good coverage for that as well. Sweet 16, 9K and above. I'm going to kick it off with Scheffler. He's got a 15th to 14th, a miscut here. Tee to greens is playing as good or better than everybody, actually. 23rd last week was like the first time he hadn't finished top 12 in like 2 months or something. Putting is probably the biggest worry concern, and the price. I'm hoping the price and kind of the field and all that maybe keeps that ownership down some. I got a lot of pods to listen to tonight, a lot of research, all my normal stuff I do throughout the first day and a half. Got to catch up, which is fine. Just been busy and some more important things going on in the background of stuff. So, definitely we'll get all caught up and prepared. And we did good last week, and I was busy there. Then we're going to take the next few weeks, kind of catch our breath, get ready for football, regroup, and then potentially golf as well. We'll see how that rolls out. I will cover that at the end a little bit as well. Next up for me, but I'm going to go Scheffler. $1,000 cheaper for Rahm. That makes all the sense in the world. I'll get to him in a second. $600 cheaper than Rory, and then so on and so forth. $2,000 cheaper than a Fleetwood and stuff. $3,000 cheaper for Fleetwood. So I can see where maybe that will keep his ownership in check. But I think there's enough pieces down there that you can build with Scheffler. Just don't fall into the same trap of what everybody else will do, and you can be a little bit different there. So I don't mind going up to him. Spieth, 9,300. I think he'll be a good leverage point. I think he's where he's at on the pricing board and who he's around will keep his ownership down. Pretty good history here, even in the down years, quote unquote, but 13th, 60th, 13th, or 12th, 30th, 12th, so 4 top 30s, 3 top 15s, did have a miscut last year, coming in just up and down, right? But I do think some of these guys want to finish strong. You get 4 days with them. He can go low sometimes, hang around. I think the price keeps him, really low. So I like him as a good leverage play in the 9K range. Next up for me, Rahm. I do like Rahm, so I'm going to play Rahm, but I still like Scheffler. I'm just going to pit him off some other areas. Rahm, a 28th, 17th, 7th, 52nd, and a 5th here. So, 3 top 17s, 2 top 7s, a 2nd at the Open. I think he's kind of relaxed. A lot of these guys, the way the schedule fell this year for this course, most of them probably haven't played since the Open. So you could take that one of two ways. Are they rested? Are they rusty? But they all get 4 days, barring withdrawal. So that helps me feel more comfortable with some of these guys. Yeah, they may start a little slow, but no one's better at a nice little backdoor top 10 on Sunday than Rahm. So I don't mind having some of him this week. I like Scheffler and Rahm over the other guys in the 10K range by a good margin. Hatton and Cantley are kind of my bubble boys. I don't know. I probably won't play both. I like both, but I think they'll both get pretty good ownership. I would probably fade the one that gets the most, or, kind of make that decision as we go through the deep dive tonight and all that. But they're both right there. They're right on the verge of me liking them. Hatton's wishy-washy here. 36th and 28th, those were cut events. And then 43rd and 69th in WGC events, which is not good at all. 17th in 2021. That's pretty good no matter what it was, but it was a no-cut event. And then 31st last year. So pretty good showing finally last year. Coming in as good as form as almost anybody, probably right below like your Schefflers of the world. So I can see that, and I can see the savings really boosting his ownership. I don't want to play a chalky Hatton, but I don't know how much chalk we get in general up here. I think it's going to really spread out. People go a bunch of different ways. And then Cantley, same way. He's got a 6th, a 12th, a 23rd, a 35th. Last year was his worst year, 57th. I think he was actually on my WGC team or Fantasy Golf World Championship team. But on paper, I would think this place really suits him well, but it more feels like a top. He's always around that top 20. And with 9,800, we really need him top 10 and flirting better. Obviously, probably like him better next week. Do we go a little bit early if he's lower owned? Those are two I'm really keeping an eye on. And how many times I hear Hatton, Cantley, and people talk about that. My gut thinks Hatton's much higher owned than Cantley, which can't lead to be the bubble boy that I like, but we'll see how. I wanted to mention both just because, I'm not doing much. I won't be doing the pod tomorrow. Obviously going to spend time with the family and everything outside of getting the premium members taken care of for my birthday tomorrow. So going to tee off at 7 a.m. Try to get a quick 9, maybe 18, but I got my real job. I got to keep going as well. But for sure 9, and me and little man can get that done in about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. And he wanted to do that, so it's pretty exciting to do that with him tomorrow. 8K range, Matsu, 8,400. I'll go back there. I'm not putting much into last week at all. Once you're kind of out of it there, he was done. We've seen that from Decky plenty of times. Before that, a 30th and 13th. Here, pretty good history. 1, 2, a 20th, 39th, 43rd. I'll take some Matsu at 8,400, especially if people jump off him from last week. Fitzpatrick, no one's really been on a whole lot of. He's just not really done a whole lot of anything outside the win. Really good history here, though. Kind of a little bit of roller coaster, but a 4th, a 6th, a 5th, a 50th, 48th, and a 57th out of the last 6 years. 8,600, I think in the 8K range, he kind of reminds me of Spieth, where I'm going to get some good leverage. A 70-man field, you really need to take advantage of where you think you can get leverage on the upside. Could he finish 30th here, 35th? Not do much? Sure. I don't consider this a birdie fest, and so I do think that 13, 14, 1,500 type tournament keeps him in it. I like him in general. I'm going to play him this week, but keep an eye on him because if we see, maybe he lets us down a little bit. I do like him a lot for next week as well, if we see some momentum build for him this week as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Cam Young, I'll go there, 8,200. I think he'll be low owned for where he's at and kind of the perception of him right now. But he finished 8th at the Open, 31st here last year. He was on my Fantasy Golf World Championship team because he made I want to say he finished really well on Sunday to kind of help me boost up out of that min price level of the top 40. Whatever I was flirting to, I got up to the next level because of his good Sunday. So he can get around here if he needs to. Maybe that helped him. It was the first time seeing the course for him. So positive vibes there. The way he finished, I'll go there at 8,200. Really, putter is the only thing that kind of is his concern. Tee to green, he was great here last year as well. Bubble boy for me is Harman. I'm interested to kind of see, do people, have we forgot about him already he won the Open? Man, you got to think he's motivated Ryder Cup wise. I'm trying not to factor in or talk about the Ryder Cup too much because it's a lot of anecdotal stuff right now, but I do think he's one guy that goes, before the Open, I probably had zero chance of getting in here. He did, but whatever he may have thought, but he wins it. Now he's in it. He's in the guaranteed, but he has to keep it. Does that motivate him more? I don't know, but he's still playing well all the way around. And he finished 3rd here last year, 36 2 years ago, 12th at the Scottish before the Open. Let's say he had I don't guarantee you, but I would bet if he finished, let's say T3 at the Open, he would, at 8,300, I think he'd be really, really high owned. I wonder what he won the Open. He got his major, probably never win one again. He's satisfied, 2 weeks off. I wonder the perception of kind of the fantasy world is about that. Now, if he's super high owned, this is why he's a bubble boy. I don't want any part of him. But with Matsu right above him, Wyndham Clark, who's a DFS darling, those kind of guys around him, or people can drop down to a Sam Burns, who I think will be popular here, Bermuda Burns, stuff like that. I really think we may just get neutral ownership on Harman, and I like that. I'll take that. But that's why he's a bubble boy. We'll see how that works out over the next 24 hours. 7K, I like Connor, 7,600. 13th there last year. Tee to green, this course should suit well. If he has a good putting week, neutral putting week, I think he'll be right there come Sunday. I think you legitimately can. At that price, probably chalky, but we'll see. There's several 7K that could be chalky, so maybe it's more spread out than we think. Benny On, been playing him for weeks, not jumping off that wagon at all. Jaeger, I really like. I didn't realize, he's played here twice, a 30th and a 20th. I like that a lot. Played him last week, finished 14th. Don't mind that at all. Henley, not a guy I play a lot. And the only reason why I would is if for some reason the failure as he finished down the pike Sunday hurts him for whatever reason. Not sure if it will, but $700-800 feels really cheap for him. So I think he'll be chalky, but because of all the other options that are around there, maybe he's not. So we'll see how that looks. I don't mind playing him at $700-800, but if he's super chalky, then I don't want to go back to him at all. 6K range, Smalley, 6,800. I didn't realize how many times he had played here. where is he at? But well, twice, but I didn't even think but 2020, you know, 15th at a no cut event. I like that. 67th last year. Let's see. 3rd in opportunities inside 18 feet, 10th in irons. I may have that line off. I'm going to check that on Smalley. 10th on irons, 23rd par 4 DK scoring, 30th in good approach, 44th in good drives. Nothing that pops off the page, but some of these guys in the 6K range, if they just have enough upside, and I don't think it'll be a huge birdie fest, so I like that for Smalley. I don't mind going there, $6,800. Vincent Norman, $6,700. I don't mind that at all. Played him last week. The upside seems limited at times. Again, you know, makes cuts, doesn't do a whole lot with them, but there is potential there. 6th in good approach, 13th in par 4 DK scoring, 18th in good drives. Another profile that I don't mind if I go down to the 6K range, getting some of. Adam Schenk, $6,400, 31st here last year. I don't mind that. 31st good drives, 29th in irons, 51st in opportunities. Just okay, right? Putts pretty decently, but at that price, he has that upside to finish top 30 and score at times that he could pay off for us. Hodges at 6,500. The only reason why he's bubble boy is feels cheap for, you know, a guy that just won. We play him a lot, like him a lot in Showdown. 12th at the Scottish as well. So I mean, really coming in with good, you know, momentum, but right off the 3 and win, do we go back there? At that price, I don't mind having some. Only reason why he's a bubble boy is he super popular? I don't know. We'll kind of see that through the next 24 hours. Fade of the week for me. I don't see myself playing Rory. But I actually could see myself playing like a Morikawa. I do think a leverage play for me to kind of hold my breath and take a chance on fading would be Burns. He's been up and down this year. He did finish pretty good last week, but he's got a good record here, 20th and a second. So we'll see. You know, he's a guy I think I could fade and just, hey, it's a leverage play, depending on where I want to go up top and make my cuts there. Morikawa's coming in really good, a 5th last year, 26th and a 20th. I'd rather pay up for a Morikawa this week than a Burns. So I kind of think Burns will get pretty good talk ownership, that he's a guy that I could be off of. Sleeper, I don't know if there are any true sleepers here. I don't think Eric Cole will get the love that he probably needs or deserves. 9th in opportunities, 8th in par 4 DK scoring, 20th in good approach, 18th in irons. Continues to show up at many different fields, many different tracks, many different ballparks. Makes the cut last week, finishes 14th, makes the cut 3 Open, finishes 30th. That for that price, you know, if he's going to be in that 5 to 7%, I'll take some Eric Cole this week for sure. Normally the sleeper of the week is 5% or less, but all these guys will gain some kind of ownership just because there's not many to go to, and all of them have had some success this year. They wouldn't be there. I don't also mind guys like Sam Stevens, Ben Griffin, you know, those kind of guys that are cheap, high upside, but you get 4 rounds. I don't mind those guys either this week. Some gut feel plays that I like. Jason Day, 8,900. Where is he at? There he is. A 24th, a 10th, a 40th, and a 6th here. So 2 top 10s here. A 2nd at the Open. You know, he's shown signs. He's been there. You know, he can putt. That price, I don't mind him. I don't think he'll garnish much ownership. Sung Jae, you know, talent, upside, kind of been in a lull. We know that. I definitely don't mind him here. Cam Davis, I'll go back there just like I do every week, especially at that price, 7,200. Tom Kim, 7,800. Not really concerned about the ankle. I've torn the same ligaments before with football. They'll stabilize it enough to get him to where he needs to be through. Eventually he'll probably need some kind of, you know, a surgery, but he can do that in the off season. I don't mind the price, and I think this course could fit him really well. We'll see how he finishes or how he does this week. I'd rather be on him and he does well than he does well. And we go there, people jump on him next week. He's like, oh, he is fine. You know, he made it through that week. I'll jump on him for that price. I'll take some chances. Taylor Moore. This course is a course that if he gets it rolling, I don't mind taking some stabs at him. ninth in par 4 DK scoring, 17th in good drives, third in putting, in the field, 29th in good approach. He has that type of game here that could shoot that 12, 13 under, be there in that top 10 potential for Sunday that I don't mind as well as a gut feel play. Some betting, top 5 that pop. I am going to check those course history things. I think I may be off a line because of Lucas Glover, but I'll get that corrected if so. Betting on some of the guys, not all of them. Most of them are correct. There was just a couple there that I noticed that were off. Top 5 the pop and 2 long shots. Brought to you by Underdog and Prize Picks. Of course, I get my Prize Picks out every night. Underdog has their FedEX. I can't remember what it's called for sure, but they started their kind of 3-week golf, best ball deal last year at this time of the year, and we loved it. I don't even think it filled, if I remember right, last year. I bet it fills this year, but it's still fun. So you're going to do your best balls, kind of like you've been doing, we did for the majors, if this was your first year with Underdog. But this year it's just for these 3 weeks, and a little more predictability in 70, 50, 30. Last year we had to do it, and it was who's going to make 125, 70, 30. Obviously, you want to get as many of your team that you draft through all 3 weeks. So if you get that sleeper or two that makes it all and get those points, pretty good prizes. Use the code GUP. Links in the description for both Prize Picks and Underdog. Dollar for dollar match up to $100. GUP is the code there. I like Matsu 40, 45 in that range. I've seen it. Binion 60, Jason Day 34 to 40, Spieth 30, Cam Davis 80. I don't mind that. 2 long shots. I don't mind Jaeger and Smalley. Maybe you get some top 5s there each way if you have that available to you. One and done if you're still alive there. Good luck this week. I have one on the min. I think I'm inside the min cash, so I can maybe pull a lucky one here for the next couple weeks and get up there with a little bit more than a min cash. The other ones are dead. Like I said, won't be doing any pot or anything tomorrow. Potentially an E9 tomorrow with Kenny Kim, depending on what the family's plans are tomorrow evening. But I will have all the premium content out. Probably most of it out tonight, outside of the final thoughts stuff and final ownership, obviously, rankings, that kind of stuff. The final piece I put together. Pretty much plan on having most of the rest of it out tonight a little bit early because I'm going to golf with Little Man in the morning, and then I'll be busy with the day job, catching up after that. PGA, if you'd like to join us, NFL 30 gets you 30% off for life, risk-free 7-day trial. If you'd like to try now, come check all of it out. We'll be firing up all the NFL tools. You can still, let me double check. I think we have last year's up there if you want to go check out what that means. Obviously, the golf tools are up there, and we're continuing to build on that. Going to have a pretty big offseason with golf tools, kind of final pieces. We've been putting new stuff together this year as we can, as we've had time. We get a little bit of break because, the fall swing, even if I'll get to that, now we're thinking about it. But yes, so 2022, actually 2020 through 2022, all of our NFL tools are still up. So you can go look at it, see what it looks like. We have the stat engine, which basically has everything you can think of. Then we have the red zone report that you can go team by team. Player shows, for instance, Josh Allen, 46 of 93 with 24 touchdowns in the red zone, things like that. He actually hit a lot of interceptions. How many targets did everybody get in the red zone last year per team? But this is helpful throughout the season because you can kind of see that when you're looking at that kind of stuff. We have the scouting report, shows offensive plays by week, yards per play by week. This is so like if you're on the Cardinals, it shows theirs and what their opponent is averaging. But you can look at all of last year's right now, so you can kind of see what the end result will look at throughout the season. But throughout the year, obviously, we'll have what's going on there, time of possession. You can sort all of that for all 30 teams as well. You can go team by team, schedule by schedule. And then my projections. So I built my entire projections, which will have points, ownership, all that stuff in there. And then the points and ownership flow to the Green Machine lineup optimizer as well. So if you have any questions, go checking that out. Let me know. NFL 30 gets you 30% off all packages. We basically just have two. It's either content or tool or full site, which full site gives you access to all those NFL tools, all those golf tools, the lineup builder, which we call the Green Machine. All of it's one price, all of it's included. It's just whether you want access to the tools or not. Those are the 2 price points. Within those 2 price points, you can do weekly, monthly, or annual. Right now, you can do 30% off. This will go through Monday Night Football of week 1, and then it'll be the last time until 2024. which will probably be the Masters. So if you'd like to come check that out, or if you have questions, let me know. I hope you guys have a great. You probably listen to it Wednesday morning, but if you are listening to it late Tuesday night, appreciate it. Appreciate the support this year for PGA. Really need some big support for NFL and college football. We absolutely have the number one college football pound for pound, all in website, Slack, help out in there. It's really sometimes worth your membership in and of itself. NFL is going to be great this year. Ryan did a tremendous job covering the showdowns last year. Much more time and detail he could put into them instead of me having to do those on top of golf, on top of NFL. He's going to do that, plus potentially do the live shows with me Sunday morning as well. So we got some good stuff coming up. Hope you have a good Tuesday night. We'll talk to you soon.